Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing gameplay with the brand new 100 overall Jimmy Butler. Now, Jimmy Buckets, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all. I don't think this card is going to be anything exceptional. I think his release is pretty mediocre. And without a changed release, I just don't see a world in which this Jimmy is any better than like a top 10-ish point guard in the game if you're including all of the point guards that are available. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying there's a lot of good point guards, and I don't think his release is elite. And I think that puts him below some of the not unbelievable release but big point guards like Dark Matter Larry, Dark Matter LeBron, 100 overall LeBron, Dark Matter Jokic, Dark Matter Ben Simmons, etc. And then you got your shot creating point guards like Clyde, Cade, SGA, who have better releases than this Jimmy and just as good SIGs. Like, I'm not sure this Jimmy Butler is a top 10 point guard in the game. I think he is going to be really mediocre because of his release. And I don't think he's going to be terrible. He's going to be very usable, elite defensively, big, versatile. He's just not special at all. You know what I mean? He's just kind of there. And I don't think this card is, I mean, he's 100 overall, which is supposed to be these super desirable, exciting cards. I'm not sure Jimmy Buckets is exactly that. Now, I'm not saying he's terrible. I just don't think he's unbelievable or anything. And he's not, certainly not worth gambling for or anything along those lines. So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Help me push towards the 30,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons of consistent daily My Team content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe, and a massive shout out to my boy Phantasma for letting me use his account for this gameplay. Now, Jimmy is 6'7", 99 offense and defense, 99 stats, basically across the board, of course, which is what you would expect on a 100 overall. And of course, you basically would expect near perfect badges. And he has exactly those two: Hoff handles for days, all the Hoff defensive badges, all the key shooting badges. Everything you would basically want in a card is here. He is phenomenal. The problem is his jumper's just not very good, and I know that because I've used his jump shot this year, and I know that even on very quick, it is not going to be good enough for him to be this elite level top tier point guard, especially at only 6'7". That's not unbelievable size. I mean, that's not tiny, but it's certainly not unbelievable, and his release just isn't. It's a little slow. I mean, it is. It's not bad. I'm not saying he's a bad card. I just think he's a worse version of a point guard LeBron because he's a couple inches shorter with the same flaw of a mediocre release, perfect SIGs. Like, I think he's a little bit better than 100 overall Luka Doncic probably, but again, about the same card as that Luka's going to give you. Like, he's just kind of here. He's not game-changing or exceptional or super desirable even as a 100 overall, and him being point guard eligible instead of small forward eligible definitely upgrades the card because he can play PG and shooting guard instead of shooting guard small forward. That's valuable to have that versatility, but I still think as a whole, I mean, with the way his release is, he's not game-changing. He's good. He's not unbelievable. He'll be a good card. I'm excited to use him, and I think he'll be very, very solid, but I don't know if is he even better than a guy like SGA or Clyde from last season? Honestly, if he is, it's barely. Like, I think he's on the same level as those guys because I think their releases are a little better than Jimmy's. As a whole, this Jimmy card looks pretty good. His animations aren't bad outside of his standstill jump shot. His fades feels pretty smooth. His uppers aren't bad. I just don't think his release is exceptional, but it's very smooth and easy, so I'm not saying this card isn't going to be good. I just don't think he's unbelievable. Let's hop into a game, see what Jimmy Butler can do. All right, so hopping into this game with Jimmy, we're going up against Lonzo, who's a very good matchup. Honestly, here's the thing about Lonzo. I think his release is just as good as Jimmy's, probably a little bit better. And movement-wise, they're about the same. Defensively, they're going to give you about the... Oh, I just hit the wrong icon. I was trying to throw it Beasley, and I threw it to Glenn Rice because I thought Beasley was my shooting guard. And Glenn Rice was my shooting guard. Bad defense, or bad pass by me, but... Thank you for not calling a foul. I thought that was definitely going to be a foul on that CPU jump, but they didn't call a foul for once. That's kind of fire. Catch with Jimmy. The thing is, more than anything else with Jimmy that's going to be an issue is that he's just not a real, he's not a huge shooting threat. He's pretty easy to contest, I feel like, although he does get that one off there. Luckily, Scottie Pippen did touch the screen. You can get the release off. It's not horrible. It's just not great. You know what I mean? It's not a true three hunting release. So against a good defensive contest, you're just never getting that shot off, which isn't huge. I just don't think there are that many releases still out there that are that exceptional. Like, I don't know why we're not getting more KCP bases and Malachi Flynn bases and stuff like that on these cards at this point in the year. The interesting lack of changed animations on a lot of these cards surprises me, or changed releases, I should say, surprises me. But Jimmy getting the ram, finishing there, good bucket right there, and gets the bucket to go in and has quickly 6 points. So I was saying he's not insane, but he's looking really good so far. I'm not saying he's bad. He's 100 overall. Of course he's not bad. He's just not. I mean, he's better than 100 overall Jimmy, 100 overall Luka, I would say, or 100 overall MJ or Magic or Devin Booker. Like, there are definitely some cards this Jimmy is 100% better than. He's the same level as your Lonzos and Cades and SGAs. He's probably lower than those guys because of their releases, in my opinion. But he's there. You know what I mean? He can definitely compete at the point guard position. If you pull him, you get lucky enough to get this card somehow. a very viable option. That's true about every card that comes out these days, though. And there's only a few cards I feel like, or really only, it seems like 1 or 2 cards in each drop that are like really special enough to be kind of considered game breaking of sorts and super like they're not even must have. Like last week was unfortunately kind of a must have drop with the Wimbies, but I still don't have Wimby. I'll be all right. Like as a whole, there's just not very many cards in the game that are considered must have at all at this point, in my opinion. And this Jimmy Butler certainly isn't. And I mean, he's looking good. He's moving well. Good move right there. Gets the 3-ball off the quick stop again. Sigs are great. He does a lot of things well, but so do a lot of other point guards. So it all comes down to who you're playing against at the end of the day and how they're able to play. And this dude's defense has not been exceptional all yet. He's given up a couple of open shots, and Jimmy's been doing a good job of creating and shot creating at the same time as well. So we're outplaying our opponent right now, and that is representing itself in Jimmy having a really, really good game. But I think that's more indicative of just playing better than our opponent than anything else. That's a nice shot, though. Deep 4-pointer with Lonzo off the load up, greens it, and that's a good one. That's not an easy shot by any means. So let's come right back here. Jimmy back to this burst, double. Oh, nice burst and escape. Hit our pop, swing, one more catch. Jimmy to the corner. Somebody's going to be open. I had multiple stuff open, but I'll just take my backdoor dunk. Easy bucket. No need to make it any more complicated than it needs to be. And let's keep hooping. I don't know. Maybe I'm sleeping on Jimmy a little. Because he is, you can tell player build-wise, he's a little bigger than Alonzo. And, like, is Lonzo's release that much better than Jimmy's? Is it really better? I don't know. Maybe a little bit, but not by a significant amount. I kind of like Jimmy's upper. I feel like his fade's pretty good. It's just the base that's kind of meh. It's easy enough to contest, but I don't know. I feel like he's a slightly worse, honestly, version of a Dark Matter LeBron or 100 overall LeBron, to be honest. A slightly better version of a 100 overall Luka or 100 overall Magic. His release is kind of in that mid-tier, and he doesn't have unbelievable size to really make up for it the way that like a Jokic does or even LeBron to a certain extent, but he is big enough and interesting enough and solid enough and has enough slashing and shot creation to be viable at point guard. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say he's bad, and he's actually played, I think, very well in this game to this point. But I also think I'd rather have Jokic, honestly, and I'd rather have Cade Cunningham, and I might rather have your Clyde Drexlers at SGA still, at least arguably. And Clyde, SGA, Lonzo are the ones to me that are pretty interesting. Like, I don't really know where I would put Jimmy in comparison to those guys. And we are struggling a little bit more to create space now, but I think that's partially due to my opponent just playing really solid defense, to be honest. That was another very nice defensive possession. He's had a couple of good ones in a row, so got to give credit there when that is due, or where it is due, I should say. And got to play defense as best as we can. Backwards fade. I got to love how much separation that type of animation creates. I'm right on top of Scottie Pippen, and all of a sudden he's 4 feet off of me. Like, I don't even know what you really want me to do there. Drive to the rim. Good dunk, Jimmy. I'm surprised he got that dunk animation there, but I am very pleased he did. Jimmy's been good, man. He's got 13 of our 15 and assisted on our other bucket. I think as a whole, the card has played very solidly. That is an unfortunate foul there. Did get a kind of a glitchy animation recovering, but unfortunately it was a glitchy animation into a foul, not a glitchy animation into a chase down block or something along those lines. But 42 seconds left. 2-point game. Jimmy with the ball. Can we win it, basically? Let's come out here. Stop. Kyrie dribble style. Blow by. Pop. I just don't like that possession. The execution has just not been good enough. And, I mean, I think we're going to, yeah. I'm kind of, good timing by me there, but just not great offense at all. The switch all kind of cooking me a little bit right now. I will not even lie. Tie game, 25 seconds left. A stop here will give us an opportunity to win the game. That was not, again, beautiful offense last possession, but it is okay. He shot the wow, you just sold. And then he got an offensive rebound. He sold the game, and the game gave him another opportunity. He gets an offensive rebound because that was a horrific decision to shoot that shot. And that's a bad 2K. Call a timeout. How do we let that shot go in? I don't know how Bobo doesn't block that shot. Double hump layup by Lonzo somehow slips through and gets a bucket. And with 7.1 seconds left, it's up to Jimmy here. I'm going to try to hit a game winner. I don't care. I'm going for the 3-ball. I do not care. I am going for the 3-ball. Jimmy for 3. Green it. Let's go, Jimmy. Sharpshooting takeover. Drills the 3-ball. That's beautiful. His Pro 2 is nice. I definitely like it a lot more than Ray Allen's. I'll tell you all that. I don't know if y'all seen the Ray Allen gameplay yet, but I got annoyed at that card because his fade is garbage. He's got Pro 2, but his upper ruins it. Jimmy, not so much. I kind of like his upper. I think the base is probably the worst part of his jump shot. And, I mean, whoa, what are you? Did I just lose? He could have low-key probably greened that. I don't know why Jimmy was so low there. I don't know what I got stuck on. 16 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, 6 of 8, and 3 of 3 from 3, though. I'm not going to lie. I think I was too low on this card coming into the gameplay. I still don't think he is unbelievably OP or anything, but he's one of the better 100 overall point guards. I mean, I would definitely take him over Luka and Magic and MJ and a couple of those other 100 overalls for sure. I don't know if he's the best point guard in the game. He's definitely not, but he's not bad. He can definitely compete at the top tiers. So hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back on 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.